Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. We have a big week. We have a special guest, Jaleel White.
What's going on?
Welcome. We're talking Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are having a meeting in a few hours that could be the end of the world.
I love it.
Unclear. After this, we're going to go grab some food from IHOB.
Yeah.
May or may not have heard of it. And last but not least, it looks as there might be some, I'd say, real estate opening up in the content space online because Vice as a network is tanking. As a company is tanking.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Let's talk about it. Let's do it. Gentlemen, welcome back. I am your co-host drama. I am the co-founder and CEO of Young and Reckless and the host of the Short Story Long podcast. This is Dee.
What's up, guys? Dee Murthy here, co-founder of Menlo Club, an emerging YouTube superstar. Superstar. I'm done with stardom. I'm going to superstar.
You said superstar, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I said stupid star?
You said superstar.
Damn it!
Your vlogs have been hot.
Your vlogs are hot.
And today we have a special guest, our good friend, Jaleel White.
What's happening? What's happening, Felix?
Let's get into it, guys.
Yeah.
Jaleel, first, let me just run these couple things by you. They're not on our topics, but we've been talking about them super heavily on this show. First topic, just give us your take on it real quick. Donald Trump. Kanye West versus, Kanye West and Kid Cudi album.
Oh, the albums. They're both good. I like the albums. I think.
Which one more?
I actually like Cudi's a little better right now.
Really?
I really do.
I think that's understandable. I kind of arguably feel the same way.
But I think, Kanye's basically set up a coffee shops across the street from one another. So he's benefiting to even debate that is silly.
Sure is.
I mean, everybody's like, why only 7 albums? I mean, 7 songs. And I'm like, well, if you see the way he set it up, it seems to me like he even set it up for them all to go on tour together.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Which again, I don't listen to Kanye's music strictly for radio purposes.
Yep.
If I want to listen to radio stuff, we got Migos for that, we got Younger Kids for that, this, that, and the other. When I listen to Kanye's music, I know he's trying to make stadium music. He's trying to make big crowd music.
Yeah.
So I listen for the strains that I'm like when I heard Yikes. Yeah. Or when I heard No Mistakes, I'm like, okay, that's gonna play.
Yeah, No Mistakes. Everyone.
I'm like, that's gonna play at the stadium level. On Cudi's album, what is the love song? I forget the
Reborn?
name. No, not Reborn.
Feel the Love.
Feel the Love. Feel the Love is gonna bang hard in a large crowd situation.
I wonder if they're gonna do a tour.
Yeah, come on. All they want to do is sell you T-shirts, dog. They want to get in your business.
You need a T-shirt, you need a hat, you need a song.
Yeah, that's
so the boycott was. You're not part of that.
I mean, look, the slavery comment was absolutely ridiculous, but he says it himself, and it's just like what I'm more annoyed about is a society that is so easily incited. That somebody can take advantage of you while telling you to your face, I'm going to be provocative. What does it mean? It doesn't matter. I'm going to be provocative. Yeah. He told you right in his lyrics, this is what he does. So, I don't, I still don't condone the inciting remarks. Yeah. But, again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. It's not like we didn't listen to the album and not like 3 to 4 cuts off that night. You know what I'm saying?
And it was funny was when you walked in, you're obviously wearing Yeezys, and you're like, I'm not giving away my shoes.
I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted, about my shoes. I'm like, just because somebody said something stupid, am I going to just, throw away my $500 shoes now? Like, no.
That's a tough
spot. This was made by Adidas.
Yeah.
First. Yeah. And I don't have a problem with Adidas as a company.
Because if that was the case, like you said, you'd be nowhere to shop.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. For the first few days, I haven't worn these since he made the statements.
Oh, today's the first day.
Today's the first day I've worn it since he made the statements, actually.
Enough time has passed, you're like,
enough time's passed where I was like, it really matches this gray shirt. I'm doing the dad thing. I had to take my daughter to camp this morning, and I'm like, wearing my $500 damn shoes I got from StockX.
Too good. Yeah.
When the stock was low.
The stock was low.
Okay, and then what about the other big topic is Pusha T versus Drake? What's your overview on that one? Because we went deep into it.
That got out of control. What did they say? It was like, well, that happened fast.
That escalated quickly.
That escalated quickly. Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Drake fan, you know, and Pusha I know less about. I know him more as Clips, you know, I remember Clips. But you know, for me, it says one thing: anybody can be got.
So you think Drake got?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, but it just says anybody can be got.
Yeah.
And it was like, what cracks me up in this country now is just that it's like in 1 year's time, how much can change?
Yeah.
Or 2 years time. Like, not too long ago, it seems like we were all down on Meek Mill for Drake.
Oh yeah.
Like
that can happen in a week.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right?
That can happen in no time.
So I'm just saying, I'm like, you know, once the offender becomes the offended, it tells me where it's like, okay, anybody can be got now. And I knew it was going to be a very political response to get away from it. Not because he's scared. Drake's not scared to go back at him.
Yeah.
It's just that he has an album to promote.
I think that was a huge mistake, though, not going back at him. I just think, like, if you hear that little 1-line, 2-line diss on Pusha's album, you decide, you know what, I have a full song obviously ready to go.
Right, yeah, he was loaded.
Put that thing out. You know that's where Pusha T is going to go. Like, you know Pusha T has nothing to lose.
See, I know, actually, I got to be real with you.
You don't think?
Like, I don't think anybody knew that Pusha had that much ammo, though.
Pusha T just has nothing to lose.
But he talked about...
You know, like, you can't beef with somebody who has nothing to lose unless you're
The only thing that he exposed was the kid, right? Everything else was... We know about his dad, we know about his mom, we know about his best friend's illness.
Shout out to Dennis Graham, that's the homie, though.
He's still on the gram.
Yeah, he's not leaving the gram.
He's not leaving the gram. I just think it was just, like, crazy disrespectful. But I think that people were so waiting for Drake to take an L that they just were, like, so excited.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people that waits for somebody to take an L.
Yeah.
So it was like, I saw the business reason why he pulled back, where it's like, look, we got to get on a Scorpion. We got a whole summer ahead of us, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. You know,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just hope that album's incredible.
Oh, now see, again, and that's the thing about our country that people don't understand, man. Like, nobody puts a premium on a hit like Americans.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Like, you can be on trial for murder. Just win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know,
That's all it takes.
We just love winners.
And I'm not clowning anybody who's been a part of that, but we have this thing about winners that is just, it's acute and it's special to our country.
Yeah.
It really, really is. So you said it right there. You were like, all right, well, if you're not going to give me a clap back, I need Scorpion now to be better than the last joint. and I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
and then you get a pass.
And then you get a pass.
If that album's even as good as the last
Oh, it's even as good. Come on, man. We run his bachelor party. We had no girls on our boat because the album was so good.
replaying the album.
What did you do on Dee's bachelor party? I mean, I'm proud to tell women. I was like, yeah, we were at sea in the Panama Canal listening to Drake with no women. You still worried about me going to a bachelor party, man? You still worried about me going to a bachelor
That's so good. That's good.
Remember they thought we were gay?
Yeah. The security.
The dudes with the machine guns rolled up on us. And they were like, hey, because they saw like 10 guys going all out on this boat. And they tried to hit us with the Latin and be like, hey, pay up. Nothing to pay. And remember, I started acting gay on the dudes too. I was like, oh no, we're friends. And he jumped away from us so fast. It was hilarious because out there, nobody does that. Goes on a boat to listen to Drake in the Panama Canal for 2 hours and drink tequila. Like, that's Dee's ideal day.
100% Dee's ideal day. Holy cow.
There's nothing wrong with the bachelor party. You just got to know the Bachelor.
Very true. Well, listen, let's hope that Scorpion is a absolute hit and saves, this potential downward spiral.
Yeah.
There's no downward spiral.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro.
There's
Anyone
no
can
doubt.
get it. Anyone can
Anybody can get it. But again,
even Aubrey.
Everything happens in a season. And look, in the fall, LeBron will be LeBron again.
Yeah.
And Drake gonna be Drake again.
Yeah, but the Cavs aren't going to be the Cavs again, I'll tell you that.
Ooh, no. They're not. Touche.
Okay, so let's
Speaking
get
of
into it.
person who can get got, Trump has yet to get got.
Uh-oh.
Well,
This week, tonight, to me, will be his one chance to get got. If that's Trump,
How can he get got?
he got dragged all the way to
What's
Singapore, okay? That's a big deal. No president has sat down with this guy.
Okay.
Okay? He goes there. Kim Jong, by the way, is bringing his own toilet. He's bringing his own food. because he doesn't want to get poisoned. He doesn't want any scuba divers to go check sewage to see his health situation, all this type of stuff, right? So he's coming in, he's ready for war. Okay. Trump's going there assuming I'm going to go denuclearize North Korea, I'm going to give them some economic help, and we're going to go forward. That's what they're hoping for tonight. Yeah. He may get dragged out there. This guy is literally the guy with nothing to lose.
Kim Jong is Pusha T.
He's Pusha T, right?
So Donald Trump is Drake.
Donald Trump is Drake.
I don't like saying that.
I don't like saying that part, but Kim Jong is definitely Pusha T.
Okay, so he's got this. He has this missile with no gas in it that can't reach anywhere, and he's got to go and fight this battle. And like,
but how does he get? In your opinion,
he doesn't agree to anything.
Yeah, but. That's not going to be an L for him with his base.
Who?
Trump. He's going to say, I went out there, that little rocket man threw a fit, this is what happened, we tried our best, we're going to bomb him now. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, Trump.
I mean, then he's got to go bomb him. That's the difference.
Well,
the one thing I will say about our sitting president is he practices a law from the 48 Laws of Power that it's astonishing how much he gets away with it. And it's just, you always back boldness with audacity. And he practices it at every turn. So if anything fails or if something just becomes like, I can't believe he did that, then he just ups the ante. And you forget that the thing that was done before that was absurd to begin with. So, you know, when people make such a big hubbub about these talks or anything like that, you know, first of all, you know, there is this thing called legislation and law, and people can talk all they want, but things have to be ultimately just, they have to become law, they have to become written. And none of us take the time to go back and now read what is potentially going to be signed, what treaty or what bill he has in place, and those things get watered all the way down once things go to contract. So there's the big talk in front of cameras, and then there's let's go to contract.
And nothing happens.
And the let's go to contract isn't audacious, it isn't bold, it's just deceitful. And so
very true. Very true. But how does that go? I mean, after it's over, do they do a press conference?
Yeah, they're saying they're supposed to do a press conference either tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know if it's together, but they said
it's all about the handshake, though.
Yeah, the handshake, and then you know Donald Trump's a pretty big guy.
Donald likes to get a hold of that hand.
Yeah, right? You know Kim Jong's a tiny dude. I'm the big American.
So is he gonna get into the same thing where he was yanking homeboy before?
The awkward whatever it is. Yeah, I'm excited to just witness whatever shit show comes out of it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy because like Kim Jong's a character, Donald Trump's a character. Yeah. They're in Singapore. Like the whole thing is bizarre. I mean, and just coming off the G7, where he was insulting the Canadian Prime Minister.
Yeah, why does he hate that guy so much?
Because that guy is like...
That guy's awesome.
He's a beloved, pretty liberal in some sense.
It seems great.
Yeah, and he doesn't like that. Yeah. The way Donald Trump's approaches, so he's poking him, and Donald Trump's like, you know what? You're Canada. We could say anything to you.
Yeah, that's why I get mistreated at the border every time we go.
That's what Pusha T said too. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah. All we can do is wait for the entertaining press conference that's coming.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about IHOB.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
I think it's genius.
Yeah, but when I first heard it...
You didn't know what it was.
No, and IHOB, I'm confused. Can you explain?
Yeah, so I guess a week leading up to today, IHOP had been secretly placing IHOB on social media. Then they changed the IHOP near where you live on Hollywood to IHOB. And everyone was guessing.
The one in West Hollywood, the big one, is IHOB today?
The Sunset one.
No, the one on Santa Monica Boulevard.
No, I'm talking about Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset like Gower.
Okay.
So they were like IHOB. So everyone was
joking.
They didn't
explain anything.
No, they were going to explain it today.
Got it.
And then so people were speculating what it meant. International House of Breakfast, International House of Bankruptcy, someone put. And then finally it said International House of Burgers because they're introducing a line of steak burgers. And they want to let people know that you can come here for lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
I thought, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, stupid, but look at all the press they're getting.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's still been trending all day on Twitter. Yeah. And then everyone has chimed in and making fun of it, right? Because it's kind of ridiculous. But I went and looked at the IHOP menu because I probably haven't eaten there since the 90s.
Yeah.
After like a basketball game.
Oh no, I fuss with some IHOP.
Where is there an IHOP near you?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I'll drive anywhere. But like, you know, late night. Matter of fact, they even did a. They had no, that was Denny's. Denny's did that. That was a different thing. Remember Denny's in New York? They had the special pop-up Denny's in Wall Street where they had like the Dom Perignon and everything.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Crazy
wow.
Yeah, that was a different thing. I prefer stuff like that. But listen, as far as IHOP is concerned, if you can get people talking about your company,
you won,
and even making fun of them, if you have a product to deliver on top of that, then I agree with your negative press thing. Yeah. What's tough for me as somebody who works in show business with the negative press thing is that negative press or questionable press or people making fun of you all over the place, that can directly affect your employment. So it's different when you have a specific product. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where it's like we were talking about Wendy's. Yeah. And cause didn't Wendy's clown them?
Yeah, Wendy's fired
And it was back. Like, and I said, well, I'm like, damn, you know what? I actually have to pass a Wendy's on the way home. Yeah. And I can see that made me want a Frosty because when Wendy had jokes.
Yeah. So here's someone on Twitter said, so at Wendy's, you're just going to let IHOP sell burgers on your block? Thought you were the OG. And Wendy's clapped back, not really afraid of the burgers from a place that decided pancakes were too hard.
I'm just like, I have companies now, like clapping back on each other, like, you know,
Drake and
like they're Chrissy Teigen or something, like, right? That's funny to me. So I'm like, if you apply what they're doing to the fact that, like I said, I'm going to drive past a Wendy's, something happens. Burger King tells me they have Cheeto fries, and eventually I just got to try it.
Yeah. I think it's going to work for IHOP.
I think it's going to work for IHOP. I think it will.
I do too. I'm having.
And God forbid somebody comes back to this office and says, guess what? I had a burger from IHOP. It was good. It's on. Postmates it up. Let's go.
Yeah, they got like 50 sales.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. Yeah, I haven't said the word IHOP in probably like 5 years.
Exactly.
And I live right near one. I live blocks away, and I mean I don't go there.
That was actually spoiler alert about Ocean's 8. Yeah. So just stop listening for a second. But I'm like, on Ocean's 8, that was how they got the diamond necklace to be released. Is they impressed upon the guy who was the head of Cartier that it was like, young people don't know Cartier. So why do you have this gazillion-dollar necklace in a vault 50 feet under the ground when people need to be social media and talking about it and young people? And it was like, that was the thing that made him go, okay, well, yes, you can have the necklace. And
that was in the movie.
That's a huge point in the movie, because up until this moment, this Met Ball, it would have been unheard of for them to release this $150 million necklace.
Yeah. That's marketing, man.
So
it worked, and we're gonna cover Ocean's 8 in a second. Next up, more restaurant weird news. I'm guessing more marketing, because there's no way in hell that this was like a good decision from a taste perspective. Sonic released a slushie that tastes like pickle juice.
Again, I disagree with you. I would date. You know, the same thing.
I think pickle juice is one of those niche things that's very popular. Especially amongst my Jewish friends, really enjoy pickles and pickle juice.
Like they drink it out of the jar?
Yes. Growing up, my best friend used to drink pickle juice.
If you can make something that's...
new friends.
if you can make something that sounds nasty actually be palatable, you could create a line around.
But do you think so? You would try a Sonic pickle juice smoothie
if it was sitting right here, and if it was, I'd try it.
Is there a Sonic?
I wouldn't go out to get it.
I should send Danny to go get pickle juice smoothie.
I think there's one east of here. Like,
you don't think that's marketing? You think it's really that they made a good taste?
If they made it palatable.
Yeah.
They said it's tangy and sweet.
It's tangy and sweet.
They said it's a little too sweet for like a true pickle juice connoisseur.
Yeah.
But.
A pickle juice connoisseur.
Yeah, I mean, that's the person who wrote the article. Was like, for me, I enjoy the taste of pickle juice. So the problem is these guys usually put too much sugar in everything.
Yeah.
So it probably doesn't have the true taste of pickle juice, but.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm open to try anything. It just seemed like a marketing ploy to me. I didn't know that people were like...
If you could know, because take my favorite ice cream spot in the city, and I will big up them because they show so much love to me and my daughter, and it's Salt and Straw. And their flavors are insane. Like they have
sweet and salt.
goat cheese and fig and
Really?
oh yeah, like
there's always a line around the block.
Exactly.
It's good.
And so what happens is because people are there tasting them. So when my daughter first went, because she was like 7 years old, you know, she's like vanilla, chocolate, don't even come at me with any of this other stuff.
Yeah.
And now, after another year and a half or whatever, she looks forward to, I'll try that, and I'll try this, and I'll try that. And people love, even if people go patooey.
Yeah.
It's the jelly bean game. Have you played the jelly bean game, the nasty jelly bean game, right?
Yeah.
You know there are bad jelly beans in there that are going to make you go patooey.
Yeah.
But you try it anyway. That's the game.
Yeah.
So if you actually make something that sounds nasty, but it actually is palatable, that's more than just marketing, dog. That's innovation.
Fair. We need to try it.
They're the apple of
Send
food.
someone to a Sonic. Okay, next up. This is a good one. I like this one because it means some space is opening up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Apparently Vice,
Yeah.
the massive media company, is having some trouble. And apparently Shane Smith, the founding CEO, is a Trump-like character.
Wow, come out swinging.
I'm telling you in the article, they said they would play a game where is this Shane or is it Trump? And they would put like quotes, or they wanted to, and put quotes from both and say which one said it or which one did it. They said that did that at Vice. So anyway, the point is, it sounds like he kind of was like a master salesman, got them way in, raising a bunch of money.
Yeah, so New York Magazine did a full kind of story on the history of Vice. I mean, I'll put it like this. 14 years ago, we advertised in Vice magazine, and it was just a free magazine that cool kids in LA, New York, Toronto, you know, like that read. Yep. And it was like this cool niche magazine, and then he one day figured out how to get Intel to give $25 million to do this creators project. He had no idea. He was such a good salesman that he created this moment for Intel, and that catapulted them to start working with Fortune 100 brands, and they built this huge media empire. They had that huge success with the HBO show, and instead of just kind of focusing on being this niche media company, they went on to build a network, this website, and even some of their practices and how they drive traffic to their website. In the article, they said like they think half the traffic is coming from kind of phony baloney OMG facts type websites. So now they've raised a crap load of money, I think almost $1 billion, from people like TPG, the founder, you know, Freston from MTV, and all these people, and the valuation's north of $5 billion. Yeah. And their revenue, they were hoping to do $1 billion, now fell way short. It's somewhere in like the $700 million range. Yeah. They have all these offices. They have a bro culture at their office that has pissed off a lot of employees.
Bro culture, that's not good these days.
That's
not a good time for all that.
And then you have underpaid staff. People are making $22,000, $30,000 a year. This guy helicoptered into like their New York meeting. And just like he's obviously cashed out.
Wasn't Shane Smith accused of some Me Too stuff?
I don't want to put that out there.
I think he was.
He was?
I'll half put it out there.
Okay. But I think the whole...
It sounds to me like reckless media is coming soon. That's what it sounds to me like.
2018, you just say shit.
But
I think that's true. I think there was an accusation. I don't think it was like anything major that stuck really, but I think it was part of the like, hey, the culture here is messed up.
And so now they've replaced a bunch of people. Shane Smith has stepped down. But the article is really saying like, can this company... Is this a real, true new media company? Because the issue I have with it is, this is, you know, goes on to the next topic also. Some companies are meant to be niche and just focused businesses, and not everything is going to change the world. Yeah. And that's why, like, those scooters in Santa Monica, they should stay scooters in Santa Monica. We are not going to be scooting to Las Vegas.
Listen, I'm seeing those scooters though creep out and out further from.
Okay, well yesterday
and people are not riding them safely at all.
Okay, yesterday was a perfect use case for the scooter. Sorry to distract, but the Pride Parade is happening in West Hollywood. Right. I'm leaving my brother's baby shower. My dad lives in Hawaii right now, so he brought me a bunch of Kona coffee. I couldn't there's no way, it took me 40 minutes to drive 0.5 miles. Yeah. So I was like, I'll walk. It's hot, so I have all this Kona coffee. I find a bird. I literally I'm talking to my wife, I'm like, finally a real life use case for this bird. Battery's dead.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, this.
That happens a lot. There's a lot of them that are non-operational.
Yeah.
And there's also they can't go up hills.
Yeah.
They can't take inclines at all.
Yeah, and I got to go up a hill, so it's like useless.
I wonder if the Pride Parade was just people zipping around on skateboards.
There was everyone in the neighborhood was a bird mania. Well, to go back on track, my point being that I think Vice is incredible when it started, but to me it was a niche thing. So 2 interesting things in the article. They said that they're the youngest age viewership of a nightly news, Vice News. And guess what the age is?
34.
42.
Jesus.
That's not young.
That's not young at all.
No. And then they said the average primetime viewership of a Vice show is 100,000 viewers. 103,000 viewers a night.
Average?
We just watched HQ Trivia on Jalil's phone. There's 500,000 people playing a game. Yeah. Right? So my point being with Vice is like, where do they go from here? Are they just new? Because part of the content, I stopped consuming Vice because I think it's Fox News for liberals. Yeah. Because all it is scare. We're in the drought. All this plastic. This is ISIS. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. It got very scary.
Yeah. Like, dude, I don't want to hear about all that all the time. I can't use plastic. I can't be friends with ISIS.
No, you can't do anything. You literally can't do anything. You can't. It sounds like they just did too much and got. This is what it sounds like. It sounds like this Shane Smith guy used his amazing abilities as a salesman, just built up too much, got the valuation too high, oversold the dream of what it could all be, made his money and dipped out. Now they have a new CEO and a new everything. Yeah. And what do you even do with that? Yeah. Like, who can take that and
this is the thing that ultimately scares me about business culture and how I see it growing is I hear so much more of that made your money and dipped out. And I just feel like I come from a generation that looked up to men who were there to actually build something. If you sold, you sold. Now the goal of selling supersedes the goal of building anything worthwhile these days.
And it's not even selling now. It's raising as much money.
Yeah, just raise it as much so you can just pay
taking
yourself.
a little off the table.
Take a little off the table every time.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, all right, this thing's worth $6 billion, and I've taken home whatever, however many hundreds of millions. I'm going to go on a boat somewhere and listen to Drake like you guys did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just the rest of his life is your bachelor party.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember when we were entertaining a fundraise and people would offer us a certain amount of money, and I'd be like, I have to assume I'm never going to get another check again. That's enough money for the rest of my life. And now I was like, that might be enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's the way people are operating now. Because the actual idea of selling the business or making a profitable business isn't actually realistic for most people. Most people just keep taking chips off the table every single time. And and then you end up running the business poorly. And this is why I think Vice is ran poorly. You should have never allowed for a valuation of $5.7 billion. Yeah. That is absurd amount. I mean, such a valuable business. Like, I'm trying to think of businesses that are valued that high. I mean, like old school businesses that are doing billions of dollars in sales, very profitable, historically profitable, well-run companies. They don't get rewarded like that. This company did, and they didn't make the most of it. So, I mean, it also goes on to like our next topic, which I think is like a lot of young people come to me and they're like, I'm raising this much money. My company's worth $25 million. And that's literally how, unfortunately, the way the world works. Like people, if three of us came up with an idea, literally it's an arbitrary amount of money. We decide and we just go and shout, our business is worth $25 million. I need $5 million. And someone, if you're good, like Shane Smith, will pay you for that, right?
Yeah, no, that don't work in my business.
It did. He's in your business.
I mean, well, he's on a different side of it. He got clothes and stuff, skate life, you know.
Yeah. It's just
when you cancel now. Just stop saving on the check too.
But that's what happened. I mean, the next topic is Honest Company.
Honest Company, which it's funny. So I had heard rumblings that, they were making a lot of changes and they were raising money. And so there was this big headline on Friday saying they raised $200 million from L. Catterton. L. Catterton is the private equity arm of LVMH. And so everyone's like, oh, wow, they're raising that $200 million. I start hearing that employees are unhappy because the valuation is very low. And it said significant minority stake in the business. Mm-hmm. So 2 years ago, the company raised money at a $1.7 billion valuation. Mm-hmm. Last year, they supposedly took in money at $1.1 billion. I'm no math genius, but 200 million significant minority stake, that means the business is worth anywhere on the low end 400, on the high end 600-700, which is significantly lower than where they were, $1.7 billion. And I like their product. We use it at home. We use their wipes. But maybe it's not a big business, as big as we thought we were. And it doesn't mean that it can't be a successful business, but they clearly raised too much money, and now they went into beauty, they went into all these things. I just get concerned that like the fundraising exceeds the actual business opportunity.
Sure.
Like that, when I look at the scooter business, is the same problem I have with them. These scooter companies are raising $500 million.
That's
for
crazy.
what?
That's right.
Those things are going to get shut down in 6 months.
Oh, listen, I saw once. I saw a guy and a girl going the opposite way in traffic.
Yeah.
Somebody was about to step off a curb, and they just went zipping right by him.
Yeah.
They make you check everything to say you're supposed to be wearing a helmet, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, everybody does the accept terms without even reading that crap, right? And I'm just like, you know, it'll take a couple splats, and I believe they can exist, but I agree with Dee where it's not everything is meant to be $1 billion enterprise.
Yeah.
It's like, weird. It just seemed like there was a time frame when that was what everyone was doing. It's not like, it's like you weren't a good CEO, you were a good fundraiser.
Yes,
you know
that's what it is. These guys are, and the people that are good fundraisers, they're amazing. Because I've met with a lot of these folks, and they're so charming. They tell you, like, I always use the explanation. I'll go meet with this, like a young CEO, and I'll be like, so what's your business? He's like, we're making pets' lives easier. And I'd be like, wow. What are you doing? And then he'll be like,
it's worth $500 million.
We walk dogs. And I'd be like, damn. You're making like pets better. I'm just like, I mean, come on. Like, dude, all you're doing is you're creating an app for people that want to walk dogs. You know,
but you have a $100 million valuation.
And listen, I think there's a need for that.
100%. I think the idea
But when you start talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm like, okay, we've got to calm down. We've got to calm down.
It's weird, man. What do you think happens? Do you think that like the sort of trend shifts back to normal? Like, do you think this is a bit of a bubble happening with that?
When a recession hits, everything will get wiped out. And then all the valuations will get corrected. It's the same thing. Housing, investing, everything corrects and goes back to normal. 10 years ago, we were in the middle of that. And you couldn't raise money for anything. And
what cracks me up really is how short our memories are, and from 2000 to 2010, I mean, I remember the Beverly Center in 2007. I mean, it was just depressing. That place looked like a cemetery. And that for real. And people have such short memories with this stuff. Once we go into go into a recession of any kind, the things that we need. And the real pricing, like I always had an issue with BBB shoes, and here we are a year later, and it was like, no, I was never hating on the family. I don't hate on anybody, you know, it's just trying to improve themselves. But I was like, those are not $600 shoes. Like that's an insult for you saying that's $600 shoes. So here we are now, just 1 year later, and they're even less of a $600 shoe. So I'm like, okay, well, how far down the toilet do we go? While this other person continues to raise money towards those shoes. And it's like, I didn't say it was a trash shoe. The shoe had no place in the market. I said it's an insult to people's values to say that that is a $600 shoe. We have real things to pay for in life. If you even wanted to hit me for freaking $180, $200, whatever, I'm like, oh, you're still being absurd, but all right, no. And maybe if my kid wants them, fine. When you start saying that's a $600 shoe, and we know how you source that shoe, we know the real company behind that shoe, that is the exact same shoe without the branding. Come on, B. At that point, it's just kind of like, you know, we're all kind of turning into charlatans.
I just think it's the age of the salesman. Like the salesman is just winning. Right? The Barball, Donald Trump, Shane Smith,
Elizabeth Holmes.
If you are a good salesperson,
you can get money.
It's your time. Until that recession comes. And you're all wiped out.
I want to try to build myself for that recession.
Yeah.
That's the truth. It just, you know, I know what it's like to be hot. I know what it's like to be in the middle. I don't think I've ever really been down there. Thank you, Lord. But no, thank you, Lord. But I'm like, you've got to figure out how to create a life, a product, and a business for yourself that is sustainable on just a societal level. Like you can ride the curve of everything, you know. The tone of the material that you're even making, you know, it's amazing how much content is inappropriate, you know, now because just times have changed. You know, I'm like, where will we even? I don't know if you guys are even old enough to remember a series called Night Court.
Of course.
Okay, all right. So like, Dan Fielding can't even survive development in this Me Too era.
Yeah.
He was a cad.
Yeah.
Like he was a cad that worked the night court and hit on anything that moved. He made
that character would not be allowed
that
to
character literally could not survive development.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's a great character in American lore. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of the words that scares me so much is when it comes to content is the relatability thing. Because I'm like, I'm sorry, I never watched content as a kid always looking to relate to something.
Yeah, that's just.
I just want to be entertained.
I just wanted to be freaking entertained.
Yeah.
It's like rap music. I remember when listening to rap music as a child, and everyone's like, "Oh, mate, you can shit people."
I'm like, no.
But now
these guys apparently have done that with each other, and we're listening to it.
But the difference in my mind is, and this isn't for better, I think it's probably for worse, but is you used to listen to rap music and watch crazy movies and then go hang out with your real friends and like ride bikes and stuff. Now, what you're looking at on your phone is essentially replacing your real friends. And so you want to be friends with Kevin Durant and this YouTuber, and you want to relate to them the way you would to your friends because it's replacing some of that
But
time.
you can't be friends with Kevin Durant. It's not going to happen.
No, you can't. But that's why those people, the people that are doing it the best on social media are like Cardi B, right? The reason why she just is crushing it is because everyone thinks that's their friend. Like, oh, she's great. I relate to her so much. She films without makeup on. That's my girl Cardi.
I mean, hey, I love that someone can feel that way. It's entertaining, believe it or not, to hear that somebody can feel that way. If I were raising a daughter like that, I would slit my wrist. You know, that just feels like they need to relate to some person that they will never meet. Not Cardi B. I love Cardi B, but I'm saying like, raising a person that is looking at a screen going, this is my hero, and I feel like I can relate to you.
That's
I'm like, there's a disconnect at home if you feel that way about any superstar that you've never met and you're not going to meet.
That's the new thing. Okay, moving on. Spotify making moves. So there's always this, there's this battle with streaming services, and we're watching it closely and always commenting on like who's going to take the lead and how. It seems like Spotify's making a bit of a power move here. They're going to start signing artists to deals.
I like that.
I don't think they're necessarily signing them like record deals per se. But they loosely are saying we're a platform. We want to go direct to the act. It's kind of like, think about when Netflix started. Netflix started, you got the CD in the mail, and it was just old movies from the theater.
Those things would just pile up at the crib.
So it was just going to Warner Brothers, Disney, and saying, cool, we want to put Harry and the Hendersons on Netflix and whatever, right?
Title.
Yeah, whatever. And they had to license all that content. And Spotify is obviously doing that right now with record labels, but they're like, why don't we just go direct to the acts? And they said, we don't want to compete with the record labels, but we think there's like a middle layer of musicians.
Definitely that
aren't being addressed by record labels, that aren't doing the big record deals, and we can give them a platform to access a bunch of people.
You know what was one of the reasons why Arsenio Hall blew up so much in the 90s? It wasn't that he was just so funny. It was that he was putting on musical acts that were not bookable on The Tonight Show and Letterman and these other late night talk shows.
Like hip-hop acts.
So basically, when hip-hop was blowing up and really becoming hip-hop, you're talking about Naughty by Nature, you're talking about, your Tribe, you're talking about Tupac or whatever. He was putting these guys on and giving them a platform to perform. So I feel like there's this whole just
mid-tier.
Mid-tier performer. And not to insult anybody by saying you're mid-tier, but you got to start somewhere, damn it, But if you're a Jadania or somebody like that, where it's like, you have a Gallant, you have a cult following of fans that literally just follow you to every spot. You're not selling out the Rose Bowl, but if they could infuse capital and resources into those guys, they will get some hits.
Yeah.
They will take some people from mid tier to superstar.
Yeah. And they you get featured on those playlists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have all the power.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on that New Music Friday.
Oh, New Music Friday, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
like
funny is
jumping
that-
with my daughter in the car. That's how we discover
That's what
stuff.
every artist I talk to, that is their goal. Like, it's not like sign a deal, this, that, with a deal, that. It's literally
New Music Friday.
New Music Friday or Kylie Jenner's stories.
Wow.
Because if Kylie Jenner's listening to you while she's like doing whatever the hell she does, you can blow up that way too.
Wow.
What's funny, on Friday I was in a meeting going up the elevator. I'm like, oh, did you listen to the Kanye Kid Cudi album? And he's like, you know what? No, it wasn't on New Music Friday.
Who said that?
A friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because in the morning it wasn't on it got on there later in the day or on Saturday.
Yeah.
But Friday morning, that album was not on New Music Friday. So a lot of people didn't know how to.
Yeah.
Like, we forget to even go look for music. It's just served to us.
Let me give you one alternative stance, though, is do you think that there's a potential for an issue where Spotify's pushing their own people that they have
that's
deals
gonna
with
happen.
over the good music? You know, like right now, the reason why it's so cool is because they're just sort of
Curating
good music.
Well, that's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, that's what I think the people that they're going to throw their resources behind, they have an alarming amount of data on.
Yeah.
So you can't look. The difference is you're gonna have to still work as an artist to get on their radar.
Yeah.
And everything that you do to get on their radar says you work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it was like, it would be different if you said Spotify said that we're going to create an in-house record label that's now going to become, signing acts because these 5 people now are finding them. That's different. No, they're just looking at the data
and
going,
oh, this guy's underrepresented.
yeah,
and he has no
they're
money.
just looking at the data going, this guy's got a lot of streams, but he's underrepresented. He's got no dough.
Yeah.
I'll throw him a few shekels, man, see if I can push him up to the top a little bit.
Yeah,
but he's already showing the data to say that he should be passing certain other people.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's
insider trading. I love
They
it.
play
It's
Moneyball
insider
a little
trading.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're
But
definitely
also,
playing
like
Moneyball.
Drake has a deal with Apple Music, right?
Yeah, but I think that's more like content exclusive. I think he has to release music on their first certain time. You know, stuff like that.
And they did the radio show.
They do the radio show.
Got it.
Which, yeah, I mean, Apple, I don't know. I don't listen to the Apple Music radio shows unless
don't either.
Drake is releasing something on OVO Sound. Or
When is Scorpion coming though? What's up? When
End
is
of
he-
June.
Supposedly
June?
into June.
Alright.
But
This
right
jacket
now,
says June 18th.
All right. I didn't pay attention to the date. I just saw the sad and blackness of it.
listen, it's rough over there at the OVO camp.
It is not rough in the OVO camp, all right?
It's a dark moment.
They're not pouring champagne on top of each other's heads right now. They're just pouring it into the glass.
Give it to July 4th
That's
weekend.
dark. That's dark for OVO.
Yeah, OVO's never had a rough patch.
Yeah, they've never been on
I love what we call rough patches now. Right?
That album's not good. Okay, another thing.
Yeah.
Potentially good or bad for us. The podcast business is still really tiny.
Yeah, so I was reading an article on Recode. It said all of podcast advertising last year was $314 million. To put things in perspective, radio, which nobody listens to, did $17.6 billion in ad revenue. Facebook did $40 billion. TV did $68.5 billion, right? Podcast is obviously... We are not adding to the $314 million because we generated $0 of revenue.
Yeah,
so we're part of the problem
Hopefully
there.
2018.
I think I know why, though. I think I know why when it comes to the podcast thing. I really do. People have to respect formulas when it comes to consuming entertainment. You have to. There's a reason why you have commercial breaks. There's a reason why you have a way in which you consume certain things. If you take a pen and paper and you watch like the Tonight Show and you just break it down by segment and what happened and at certain time codes, there's a reason why you get people to stay with your view throughs. Podcasts are free flowing. They're very stream of consciousness. They're very just kind of people talking.
Yeah.
And
so do you think that means it can never be a big source of ad revenue, or does it have to change?
I'm saying I don't think that it can. I think it can be a giant source of ad revenue for a chosen few.
Got it.
I do not. I have to go back to what you said, where you're like, everything is not meant to be $1 billion enterprise, and that's exactly what this podcast situation. If somebody is extremely hot or extremely visible, and they suddenly want to have a podcast, and the podcast proves to be interesting, it's like if Cardi B started a podcast tomorrow. I would absolutely listen to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because she's in that zone of just like
Hot.
anything. No, not hot. For me, it's not even hot. But she's in that zone where just anything that comes out of her mouth is just entertaining. I saw her guest hosting for what was it? Was it
Jimmy
Fallon?
Fallon.
It was Jimmy
Yeah,
Fallon,
Fallon.
okay? And it was just like her at that desk, she had me. She had me more than Fallon.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, shit, Fallon going on vacation for the month. I watch Cardi B host this shit for the next month. So for those people, now when you're in that space, whatever music you listen to, whatever food you eat, wherever you shop, whatever you're wearing, it all becomes relevant
Yeah.
to everybody that's consuming you. You see what I'm saying? So,
So you think it's so as a medium, you think it's relevant. It's just not an advertising business because of the way because it's an hour long.
it is an advertising business, but it's an advertising business only at the top.
Yeah.
If people want to sit around and just talk, then people are always going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Why not add mics?
Yeah.
In this world, but at the top where the numbers are consistent,
Yeah.
and this new stream of consciousness way of talking, it defies convention. And yes, I would listen to Cardi B on a long drive to San Diego for an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe not every day, but you know what I'm saying? But like if I were caught in that spot, it was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So I guess we should not quit our day job.
Well, I also think this. Number one, we should definitely not quit our day job.
No, we did not quit our day job.
I think that you're right, Jaleel, but I also think that is a sign of how crazy behind advertising dollars are.
Oh, that, yes.
Like, I think that so many people are listening to podcasts and radio. Like, what's actually happening a lot is radio's not getting the listens, but the dollars are still flowing into radio because that's what they know.
Listen,
and still
the
flowing
buyer,
into
the
TV
buyer,
because that's what they know.
Yeah.
People have, it also shows that the advertising money and strategy has not shifted.
Look at this, even crazier. So radio, I could even accept 17.6 billion. Newspapers did 16.6 billion.
Listen.
Newspapers.
Yeah.
One of the things,
Magazines, 15.4
one of the
billion.
things that we have to understand about business, particularly in media, it's very traditional in how it's run, and it's pipelines of money. When they are diverted, there's not going to be any disruption at the Uber level in media. Not going to happen. I don't know if I should be saying this or not.
We're a small podcast.
I hope I don't.
Podcast business is
I hope I don't get in trouble. I did a series last year on CBS called Me, Myself, and I.
Funny.
And we only lasted 13 episodes, but I kind of feel like we were sabotaged from the beginning in our time slot. A star of our show was 14 years old. He had rabid 12 and 13-year-old girls that wanted to see him, and they put us on at 9:30. So I'm like, you got Fred Savage right here. What are you doing, guys?
Put it at 8 o'clock.
But again, I'm not allowed to say anything like that. That's mutiny. So you keep your mouth shut. But we all knew that going into this, and ultimately we were canceled after the 6th episode on the air. And we have all these people now on Twitter and Instagram hitting us as actors, going, "Hey, where was the show last week? I want to see the show."
Yeah.
So what was laughable to me is I'm like, so we're going to finish these 13 episodes. We finished our 13 episodes. And we get paid for all these 13 episodes. But the people who were watching the show can't go watch the rest of those episodes. Yeah. That doesn't work in today's world.
That's so stupid.
Exactly. So
That's
guess
why
what?
Netflix
So
puts them all out.
All of the remaining episodes will now be coming out as summer programming in July. And our time slot is 8 o'clock on Saturday, which is arguably a better time slot than what we got to even begin with. What I'm trying to point out is this. I don't get to shake hands necessarily with the people who are going to make those decisions. But just like we live in the age of the salesman, this is the traditional way that television has been run. And by even dumping the episodes in the summertime is their way of acknowledging Netflix existence. And that's as close as they're going to get to it.
They're like, we need to release these episodes.
Back in the day, they just would have junked it. And now they're kind of realizing, light years behind Netflix, look, you had fans that were watching the show. Put it up. And I'm saying the people whose jobs it is to make those decisions are so well compensated.
Yeah.
To not take risk.
To not deviate from the tradition.
Yeah.
That it's actually considered innovating in their world to say, hey, let's put the episodes on in the summer. And we're sitting here going, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you guys should have thrown them up online immediately.
Yeah.
When you decided you didn't even want them on to air at 9:30 on Monday nights.
So
but it's going to change. I think those people are going to get screwed. I think that.
But again, they will have made a lot of money.
They will have made a lot of money. They'll be fine. I just think that the powers that be, that are paying these salaries, that are running these big corporations, are going to just get their ass handed to them when everyone just goes to Netflix or goes to these streaming services. Or,
I don't know. We got a few more disruptors coming in. I mean, I can't wait to see Disney's streaming service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But any of those things. So I'm not saying Netflix in particular. I'm saying the streaming way of thinking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But even in the streaming way of thinking, somebody's got to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to, like, I just bought YouTube's.
Mm-hmm. You bought that? No one else bought that.
I bought it.
How is it?
But dude, you got to slow down. You got to chill. You got to chill.
Is it good?
Your baby is this big.
Yeah.
Mine is this big.
Yeah.
All she watches is YouTube.
Yeah.
So it made sense because literally my daughter has two things that she watches religiously: YouTube and Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So the migration, and I got to tell you, the acting is not so great, but that Cobra Kai shit is watchable.
I want to watch Cobra Kai.
I watched every episode. I needed to see it because I was researching something, and it was like, there are moments where the acting is just, I mean, it's Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, a movie I was in. It's just, it is what it was.
Yeah.
But they harken back to the old story so much and so effectively in a formula.
Yeah.
If you can see it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting 2 of these per episode.
Yeah.
This is a formula, and you're keeping me on track with the old movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's a new way of thinking, but how many of those streaming services are going to survive?
True.
I believe that YouTube's will absolutely flourish because they have an incubation system below them that's free.
Yeah. A lot of data.
A lot of data, just free, bringing eyeballs there to begin with, right? So then if they see something, again, in the Spotify model that goes, maybe we want to develop in that direction, it's already got a following, they don't even want to talk to you if you don't have a YouTube following to begin with there. So they're incubating in-house and letting data make all the decisions. I think Disney's and Fox's is going to be fantastic. I mean, I think Bob Iger is the best dude in media right now. He's just frighteningly smart. I knew him as a young kid, and that Fox Disney thing, as smart as it is, I think it should be illegal, but we don't live in times that are going to call bullshit. I mean, Disney is going to own 60% of the media of the box office. They're going to own like 50 to 60% of the box office of movies that you see every year that come out.
That's a monopoly.
That's monopoly. Like, I studied this in school when I was a kid. That's a monopoly. You're not allowed to do that. To show you the first move that they did that's so subtle, because they have sharp knives and they move just real subtle, is they've already made Fox their dumping ground for experimentation with other shows that they have already deemed are not ABC worthy. So Last Man Standing, that was Tim Allen's show, was canceled 2 seasons ago. It will now be on Fox on Friday nights. So you're gonna use Fox as your dumping ground for a series that you deemed in-house you're not gonna have on ABC anymore. But now that series just became the lead for your competition, essentially. I'm like, they get to play all types of competition games. Like, you'll never even know internally at 8 o'clock on Fox or Disney which one they really want to win. You'll never know what their reasons are. Why? Because they can increase value by keeping things on the air. Bottom line, if you keep things on the air, especially in America, you can increase international value. If you get to 100 episodes, you get to 200 episodes, things of that kind of thing. So it's like, oh man, we need another 40 episodes on this show.
Yes, to
get our international value where it needs to be. Oh, cancel it on ABC. Put that shit on Fox over there, and boom, we got 40 episodes over here on a night where we're losing anyway, and we'll put the better stuff here on ABC. Whoa, like, that's not fair market anything.
But I like that. I'm down with
big
that.
Monopoly guy.
I just want to be part of the monopoly.
I mean, look, you can't fight the machine. That's why I started my remarks by saying he is truly brilliant. If we're gonna live in a Starbucks era where you just compete against yourself across the street and you sell the same coffee, then it is what it is. Yeah. He is completely winning. Yeah. But one of these streaming services, mark my words though, like Hulu's not even international. Yeah. Somebody is gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And it ain't gonna be YouTube, and it ain't gonna be Netflix.
It's gonna be a lot of good content for us to talk about on this show, though.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, sure.
Last but not least, Jaleel, you're the only one who saw it. Ocean's 8 opened up massive numbers. Yeah. I will be honest, not that I don't like women, but I'm surprised. It just
really?
didn't feel. Yeah, it didn't feel like I didn't feel the energy of like, ooh, a new Ocean's.
Like you didn't go rush to see Ghostbusters.
No, don't make it a woman thing. I'm just saying that it didn't feel like I at least needed like Clooney or like one of the old characters or one of the. It just didn't feel like that to me. It didn't feel like a reboot, whatever. But you say it's good.
One of the things people forget about in film is the star of film still is the director.
Mm-hmm. And who's the director?
Gary Ross.
On all?
Terrific director. No, he's the director on this one though.
But not the others.
No, not the others.
Even that would be alarming to me, though, right?
Who's Gary Ross?
No,
like my old director.
He's a terrific director. Look him up. But he's a terrific director, and I liked the film. I thought it was terrific. I took my 8-year-old daughter, as a matter of fact. It was the first PG-13 movie that I decided to let her see. Wow. And there is a moment where it gets a little sexual. It was the cutest thing in the world because she went like this. Yeah.
Who was Rihanna?
On her own. No, it was just somebody. I won't spoil it, whatever. But listen, it's all of the Ocean movies. Again, we have to talk about formula and what works in big tentpole movies. All the Ocean movies are good at misdirect. Focusing your attention on a necklace. Literally, they drag this out up until the final minute. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, we were really over here. And that's what you paid for. Yes. And it's like one of the best quotes that I've ever heard about the difference between television and film is movies are about unpredictability. Television is about predictability. Television is about getting to know people that you think you know so well. George Costanza, he's like somebody in your house. You watch these people in your underwear, and you get them placed in different scenarios, and you go, oh, I know what George is going to do now because I know George's personality. Movies are about selling you unpredictability. They're introducing brand new characters you don't even know, and then at the end, this is the twist that's not so far removed from reality that it's farcical, but instead it's like, okay, I didn't see that coming. Sixth Sense. He sees dead people, and the guy he's been talking to the whole time is dead. Yeah. Okay, so I just felt like watching the film, they did a really, really good job with their formula, which is the misdirect. Necklace, no necklace.
On that ending, then go watch Sloane on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay, it delivers like
Crazy
that?
misdirect. Okay. I just watched it on the treadmill yesterday.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's an exclusive to Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Got it. How did Rihanna do? That's really my number one question.
Really? You know what? That was the reason why I took my daughter.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I want to see it.
And Gary Ross is a good director, so I felt like she had enough to do where she was just lovely Rihanna to look at, and she's speaking in that thick Caribbean stuff she talks to. So some of the stuff she says, you don't even hear what she's saying. The real performance is really, people don't like her, but I know she's a badass actress. Anne Hathaway crushes it. Helena Bonham Carter crushes it. And there's an Asian chick in the movie that I don't even know her name. Like she's like some newcomer or whatever. Crushes it. Yeah. Some of it is paint by numbers. It is what it is. Like, Sandra Bullock's character is a facilitator. If you really stop and look at Danny Ocean, his job is to just be beautiful, and let everything just happen around him. Yeah. It's the quirkier characters, whatever, the guys that are,
jumping over.
Exactly. Jumping through beams and stuff like that are really keeping you there. So I just gave you the 3 characters that, Anne Hathaway's character is dope. Helena Bonham Carter's character is dope. You'll like it, man. It's just, I was impressed.
Especially after those numbers, I'm in. Yeah. I like the old Oceans.
Yeah, I love it.
I loved all of them. They delivered. There'll be another one, and there'll probably be another one where they combine the girls and the guys.
Oh yeah, Ocean 19.
I'm in. Yeah. Count me
Ocean
in.
20.
Yeah. That's it, guys.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff,
Thank you
brother.
for making that
Sure.
happen.
Good stuff.
See you in Europe next week.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, as always,
tell me
don't
what
forget
you-
to subscribe.
Tell me we be flying
comment,
like that. Let me tell me we be flying.
subscribe, comment, like. Thank you for watching. We'll be back on Friday on the podcast. For those of you on YouTube, we've been doing exclusive Friday episodes, podcast only, so check that out on iTunes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jaleel. Thank you, Rihanna.
Yes, thank you.